It's 20 years, first of all, plus on TNA. You've been there a very, very long time, but you still have that hunger, you still have that desire. And you know what I mean? You're only kind of starting, like there's so much more to do. I think it's 14 championships in TNA you have. But listen, I'm sure you can add another six over the next 12 months. You're loving life at TNA at the moment.
Yeah, I mean it's I was saying this to some of the guys backstage last week, and it's just there's something really special going on. I think that I mean we can for sure feel it because we're in the middle of it. People that work there, the people that work backstage, people that produce the show and shoot the show and make it look pretty and all that stuff. But wrestling fans, although they're not there, sometimes in person, or they're not backstage, or they're not part of the day to day, I think they can feel it too. And it's a really cool thing to be part of. Like you said, I've been here forever. This is and will always be my home. And I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And it's exciting. It's the titles thing or the championships is not something I really think about. I have won my fair share. But there's a rumor of being a new one, so I'm gonna have to get my hold of that one, and that way I've won every single one, even the women's tag title. So
It's been incredible. I always remember 2004, and obviously you breaking onto our screens. But it's been a marvelous journey so far. And for a man that's in his early 40s, you don't stop. You keep going. You keep getting better. Every day is a learning day. You said that to me in Cork. But we're going to speak of Joe Hendry. He really needs to watch his back, because I think the fans would love to see a match between you and Joe Hendry. And I just don't see why you can't become champion again within the next 6 to 12 months.
yeah, and I don't see why not either. I've held it on two other occasions, and the truth is that I've been close on probably four or five times that. And once a champion, always a champion. I think that's how wrestling fans look at it. The fact that I've carried it twice at really pivotal times in the company is important to me. Look, I'm not taking anything away from Joe Hendry. I mean, what he's doing right now is special, but he knows as well as everyone else that carries a championship like that is the target's on your back. And whether I'm happy for him or I'm proud of him or any of those other things aside, he's got something I want.
No, and I think it's something that we could see in a very near future. Now, Eric, we as you said, look, you've been very busy these last couple of years, especially the last couple of months. We have seen you in Ireland. And listen, I'm going to have to put that question out there right now. We need to get TNA back to UK, back to Ireland. We've seen you here on the indie scene at OTT in Dublin and RCW Cork. Listen, I think you should try and bring the TNA crew, first of all, back to Ireland. And we take two shows. We take Cork and Dublin. But listen, and I know the TNA roster would love a trip to Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's no secret that part of the country is one of, or that part of the world is one of my favorite parts of the world. I come over there every chance I get. Um, OTT right there, obviously, I think is one of, if not the best independent promotion in the entire world. And Joe and the guys there have got something very special happening, and the audiences there are special, man. There's something about the energy. Not that there's bad energy in the United States or Canada or Mexico or anywhere else, but there is something very unique about it. If I had my choice, we would be coming there once a month. That's probably above my pay grade, to be honest. But I mean, look, if there is a chance, I've told them that there's people that I know there that would help organize it and help push it. I'm sure people like you and other people in the media would help it get going. The truth is like we came, shortly last year we did Scotland and we did United Kingdom. But it wasn't long enough. And I think we should be trying to make it happen where we come there once a year. I think the big problem is that we're not on national television there. That aside, is television as we know it is dying. And look at the TNA Plus app is, look, it sounds biased because I work here, but I'm still a wrestling fan. I use the other apps and I use the other streaming services. TNA Plus is the easiest one to use, the slickest. It has 20 plus years of content, like every AJ Styles match ever, every Jay Lethal match ever, every Samoa Joe match ever, every Bobby Roode match ever here. And that's all available to you at a pretty low price. If you're listening to this and you don't have it, you can try code hashtag EY free. It gives you a 1 month free to try it out. And I guarantee you're going to love it. It's the best wrestling app going today.
And I'm in agreement. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. We have live screenings here in Cork. We try and throw on some classic matches. And Eric, you always pop up in them classic matches. You know, you've been in so many over the years, but you've had a busy couple of weeks. We have to mention a certain Steve Macklin, a guy that's he's quite annoying. He's annoying you a small bit. You're annoying him. Obviously a big match as well against AS Austin that we'll see tonight. But listen, Macklin's a guy that has to really watch himself. A guy you know quite well, but obviously he's you know what I mean. He's a big dude. You're a big dude. It's a lot of testosterone, but this could be something that is brewing to be really good.
Yeah, I'm trying to let my experience guide the way here. And look, I've been doing this a long time. That's no secret to you or to people that have watched, and it's certainly no secret to Steve. And I've laid it out as plainly as I can. Is I want Steve to be with me. Uh, there's very few people as far as men go that I respect more in the business. A guy that I've known since 2016, 2017. We've been very friendly and have always stayed in touch. And seeing him blossom into this megastar that he's blossoming into right now, look, I want to be part of that. And I think, Steve can learn a lot from me and vice versa. And I've laid it out as plainly as I can. And I'm just hoping that the truth will guide him to the right decision.
Yeah, it's a big decision. I'm going to put you on the spot, right? We mentioned Steve. Is there anyone else you could potentially look at and you'd love to take under your wing? Because look, great stable you have at the moment. You know what I mean? It's going to be extremely dominant. But Steve as well, very dominant. But anyone else in mind? Anyone you could mention that maybe you're keeping your eye on as well?
Yeah, I mean, look at it, as a person that travels the world and wrestles all over the place, there's always people that I'm running into, sharing rings with, or sharing locker rooms with. And if it's somebody that really sparks my interest, I bring it to the attention of Tommy or to Hunter or to Carlos or to somebody in management. I can't hire people myself. And right now, like the reality is I've got my hands full with Judas and Travis, the Northern Armory. These two guys show an insane amount of promise. Two of the best in-ring performers right now doing it in the tag team division. And the truth is there is no ceiling for these two. They're young,
Yeah.
they're green, they need experience, and I think that's where I come in to help. And I've had people help me, Kevin Nash and Sean Waltman and Scott Hall helped guided me. People like Sting, people like Diamond Dallas Page, people that were experienced, and I learned from them. Kurt Angle, the list goes on and on. And now these guys have the advantage. That's the circle of life in pro wrestling. These are two people that I've decided to tie my ship to, and that's not by accident. I only endorse people that I know are going to make me look good. When I say, look at these guys are unbelievable and they're going to be future tag team champions, I believe that in my soul. And I know it to be true. I know wrestling. I've been watching it for almost 44 years and I've been doing it for over 30. There's very few people that know the business inside and out like I do. And these guys, our future champions, are going to be a big part of TNA in the future. And as soon as Unbreakable in Las Vegas or even Rebellion in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned it. Look, obviously it's going to be great to get back to Las Vegas. It's going to be a big pay-per-view, Unbreakable. You know what I mean? There's first of all, what's it like to be out in Vegas? Like being a Canadian, obviously, look, you know America like the back of your hand. You've been here so long, but obviously Vegas is always a great week, and it's great to have TNA back out in Vegas, and it's going to be a big one this April.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, look at it, WWE is having WrestleMania there. So every person from the wrestling universe is going to be in Vegas. It's a wild city. I've spent a lot of time in Vegas. I got married in Vegas. I frequent it, try to go at least once a year. You can get into as much trouble as you want to, or you can take
I
it as
know.
easy as you want to. It's a really singular place. If you've ever been there, there's an energy to it, and there's a pace to it, and a feeling to it. It's I liken it to like places like New York, and Los Angeles, and Chicago. Like these are the big time areas for wrestling. These are the big time venues, and that's what TNA needs to be doing, and that's exactly what's going on. I don't think we've had less than 3,000 people in live attendance in almost 7-8 months, and um, that's a massive thing for this company. The digital impressions are up, and website views are up, and YouTube views are up, and TNA Plus subscriptions are selling like crazy. Like I said when we started talking, is there something very, very special going on? And it's no secret to me and no secret to fans that watch the product. There's something big time happening, and it feels like a bit of a revolution, and that's cool.
It is. And look, you mentioned Mania Week. Obviously, look, it's a big weekend out there. Look, you've got WrestleCon. You're going to be floating about meeting the fans and all that kind of stuff too. But I can finally mention this because sometimes back in many years ago we couldn't mention certain things, Eric. But WWE TNA, there's a bit of a collaboration. It's a bit of an agreement, partnership. I think you have unfinished business in WWE. You had a great run in WWE. Obviously, now there's a bit of a connection with TNA. We're loving it. We're seeing Joe Hendry at the Royal Rumble. We're seeing this and that. Would I be right to say that? Look, maybe there is unfinished business there in WWE, and you'd be happy to go back maybe for a couple of matches and do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with it. There's no doubt. It's as far as like thinking ahead, like what's going to happen. I've kind of never concerned myself with that, or at least I've gotten better at it because I don't have any say or any control over any of that. I'm an employee, and when they tell me to go, I go, and they tell me what to do, and I do it to the best of my ability. Um, I was a great employee there. Still have great relationships there. Still talk with Hunter, and still talk with a lot of people that work there. And I would jump at the opportunity to go back to NXT, or show up in the Royal Rumble, or do something. That's something that I would greatly appreciate, and would love to do. Am I losing sleep over it? Absolutely not. I could care less. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I take it one day at a time. I've been living my dream for over 20 something years, being on TV and this being my sole occupation. And that's the only thing I concern myself with.
No, and look, no one could doubt that. Listen, incredible journey so far. I think there's many more years to come. But quickly, we have to ask you, look, the fans obviously mean the world to you. Look, in Ireland, we were lucky enough to get you in Cork and Dublin at OTT RCW Cork. Your interaction with the fans is always immense. And look, it's a big week. This, suppose this coming April, many a week, obviously unbreakable. But you love your fans. And look, that's the most important thing. They get behind you. The fan base is incredible. What do they mean to you, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It's the lifeblood of pro wrestling. As a person that went through wrestling in front of no fans during the COVID era, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Um, And the truth is I think we found out, and all wrestling companies found out that the wrestling fans are just as big a part of the show as we are. And us doing it in front of nobody with nobody watching seems like a really big waste of time. And it seems really stupid, and it seems really dangerous. But there's something about entertaining people, and allowing them to forget their problems, or concentrate on someone else, or lift their spirit, or put them in a good mood, or put them in a bad mood, or make them feel something. It is a massive honor for me, and it's been my favorite part of pro wrestling. That's the only reason I ever got into wrestling. It had nothing to do with being on TV, or being famous, or making money, or anything like that. It was just about making people feel something and entertaining people, and I've been doing that for a long time, and I'll do it as long as that I can do it at a high level. And the minute that I feel that I can't, I'll disappear, and you'll never see me again. But right now there's a lot left for me to do, and TNA is rolling in a way that I can only remember the energy being like this once, and that was when we first went to Spike TV and started shooting the shows at Universal Studios in Orlando. And that energy is matched right now, and it might be even bigger than that because of the momentum that we have.